Welcome back to Maths in an Empty Classroom with me, Mr. Southern. This is part 3 of the lesson on adding and subtracting algebraic fractions, and in this video I'll be looking at one that involves subtracting. Now what I have here is x over x minus 2 minus 6 over x plus 1, x minus 2, minus 1. So a couple of things to deal with here. First thing is that there isn't anything to factorise, so I'm not looking to simplify initially. And then I have to think about what I'm going to do with the minus 1. Now, some people might advise you to treat it as a two-term subtraction, simplify that and then subtract 1 at the end. Sometimes that works quite neatly, but I think a better general strategy is just to approach the whole thing, work with all three terms, and it will all cancel out nicely at the end. Now, the common denominator that I'm aiming for all three of these fractions is x plus 1 times by x minus 2. So I need to think, what do I need to do to each of the other things to turn the denominator into x plus 1, x minus 2? Well, with the first one, I would need to multiply the numerator and the denominator by x plus 1. That would give me x plus 1, x minus 2. The denominator of the second fraction does not need to change because it's already x plus 1, x minus 2. So remember what I said in the previous video, you don't necessarily have to multiply the two denominators together. If you only need one additional term to make them the same, save yourself the work. Now, the number 1. The number 1 can be written as anything over itself. So what I'm going to write for the number 1 is x plus 1 times by x minus 2 over x plus 1 times by x minus 2. So the number 1 can be written as any expression over itself. Okay, right. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to expand it and combine it, but just watch very carefully how I'm doing this. So I've got x squared plus x minus 6 minus, and I'm keeping a bracket here and expanding this out to be x squared minus x minus 2. And the reason that I'm keeping that minus there and putting a bracket around it is I'm subtracting the whole result of x plus 1 times by x minus 2. Now that whole thing is over x plus 1, x minus 2, because that's my common denominator. You may be able to look at that and think, okay, I can simplify that without having to work out how the bracket's affected, but it might be your preference to say, right, I'm just going to make sure I'm getting this right by doing x squared plus x minus 6 minus x squared minus negative x makes positive x minus negative 2 makes plus 2. That is still over x plus 1, x minus 2. And what we can now do is simplify that numerator. Now x squared minus x squared, 0, so there's no x squared term. X plus x, so that's 2x. Negative 6 add 2 is negative 4. So I have 2x minus 4 over x plus 1 times by x minus 2. Check at this stage, am I done? Can I factorise the numerator and simplify it further? Yes, you can, because 2x minus 4 will factorise to 2 lots of x minus 2 over x plus 1 times by x minus 2. And you have a common term on the numerator and denominator, which we can cancel, which gives us 2 over x plus 1 as the final solution. Love that, but you start with this and end up with that. These are great fun to make up because you start with the answer and work backwards, adding layers of complexity. It's brilliant. But the key point here was that the number 1 can be written as anything over itself, and that's how we proceeded through it. And take care when you're subtracting the whole result of a fraction here. My advice would always be to put the negative sign, the subtract sign, and then in brackets what you've expanded it out to. And take the time to do this step here so you don't make mistakes and make errors further down. Thanks for your company.